Bad Bunny as the halftime performer.
It comes after NOM's chief advisor, Corey Lewandowski, first confirmed the presence of immigration enforcement at America's largest sporting event and slammed the NFL for its decision to pick the Puerto Rican artist. Bad Bunny promising to perform entirely in Spanish, so we'll watch for that. Corey Lewandowski joins us now, Trump's senior advisor. Great to have you here. Before we get your thoughts on Bad Bunny, we want to make something very clear here. ICE has always been in attendance for every Super Bowl. We're here now showing some pictures from New Orleans, the 2025 Super Bowl. And then there's these images here from 2019 in Atlanta when the New England Patriots played the Los Angeles Rams. So ICE has always been there. Is that correct, Corey?
It is correct. And it's not just at Super Bowls, but it's at all of what they're considered SEER events, or these special events that have large crowds that have a right to be protected from potential bad actors. And so whether it was Charlie Kirk's funeral, which transpired recently, the Super Bowl, major sporting events, we have a presence at all of these locations so that the people who are coming to them can do so in a safe environment. So this is not news. This is not newsworthy, other than to say that if you are in this country illegally, you should self-deport, because if you don't, we will find you. So if you choose to come to the Super Bowl and you're in this country illegally, there are repercussions to that, just as there are if you are in any other neighborhood in this great country.
We also heard from Todd Lyons, who said that ICE presence at Super Bowl games, they focus on counterfeit merchandise also, right? They're going after that, and also trying to scout out potential victims of human trafficking. So who's against that, right? You've got another reason as to why they're there. Bad Bunny, though, as you know, Corey, has made some headlines just because he was chosen by the NFL to perform at halftime. He was also hosting SNL recently, and he had this to say to Americans during his monologue about what language they should consider learning. Watch this.
I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero, y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir. And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
What do you think about it, Corey?
Listen, I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. My children do, because, they're much smarter than me. But look, here's the reality. The reality is it's a poor decision by the NFL. There are some amazing artists out there who want to embrace people, who want to bring people together. And instead, once again, the NFL decides to go woke and bring someone who says they don't want to perform on American soil because they're afraid of the people who might be coming to his concerts. Listen, everyone knows that Bad Bunny, who was born in Puerto Rico, is an American citizen. No one calls that into question. His desire to perform outside this country is completely his prerogative. I would just have rather seen an artist who wants to bring people together as opposed to divide them at the Super Bowl.
Well, I want to get your thoughts on this, because the ladies on The View, they had some other ideas about if people were going to go to the Super Bowl, that they should maybe change some things before they go watch.
Get a little cocoa butter, sit in the sun. That's the first thing. and this is the only time you can probably ever do this, give yourself a Latin accent.
Whoopi, that is such a good idea.
And see if she can tell who's who.
So what do you think of that advice, Corey?
Look, it's so preposterous. Anybody who's in this country legally is going to be safe. Every American in this country is going to be safe. What the Department of Homeland Security is doing under the direction of President Trump is taking the worst of the worst off of our streets. Who doesn't want that for their children? The murderers, the rapists, the sex traffickers, the drug dealers. Every single day, the brave men and women of law enforcement who right now, because of the government shutdown, are not being compensated for being on the front lines, are out there making our communities safer. And maybe, these people who walk around with personal security guards or travel in, vehicles with others to protect them, they don't have these concerns. But I can tell you, being in Chicago, being in other communities, there are real concerns about people's ability to have a free and fair society. And so taking the worst and the worst off the streets is something the president has pledged to do. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Yeah, that's what he says. We're going to watch, by the way, the efforts in the court to stall the deployment of National Guard troops. Perhaps we'll get an update soon enough, but President Trump determined to just make some of these cities, great American cities, safer. Corey Lewandowski, thanks so much for coming on with us this morning. We do appreciate it.